Okay, hello everybody. Um, After my miserable tactics video earlier and my miserable ending to my standard game earlier, it's time for some tactics. So this will be video number 4. My current rating 1548.4. Hopefully we can get that up there. I'm going to do 10 problems. Right or wrong, 10 problems, and at the end of this 10 problems, the video is over. So we'll see and if I make some progress or not. Okay, so here's what we got. We've got a queen. Black just took our queen, I think, on e3. And the natural thing would be to recapture with the f-pawn. But it looks to me like we can throw in a rook takes b8 first, since it's a check. So here's the variation. Rook takes b8, rook takes b8, rook takes b8, check. And he'll have to respond however, and then I recapture. So that's going to be like 100%, that's right. Okay, or he just moves. So it's defended, so now we have to take the queen. Otherwise we take the rook and he moves the queen to safety. So, and then we take the rook, and we got it right. Okay, up to 1550, and moving on to the next problem. That was a pretty easy one. I usually won't go that fast. Okay, first thing that jumps out is bishop h6. Knight a4 would attack the queen. We keep those things in mind. Things that are pinned or discoveries or skewers, things like that. We've got some action on the C file here. Doesn't look like anything will come of it easily since the back row is defended in both cases. So let's take a look and see if the queen is trapped or something. Knight a4. There's b5 as an escape square. There's a7 as an escape square. So other than that, it's kind of tight. So a7 to c5, there's no way to attack both those squares right away. Bishop h6, looking at that, black can just play g6, and then I don't see how to proceed. As far as knight taking d5 or something like that, it looks like that the rook pin doesn't help anything. Though it would be a fork of these two pieces. So let's look at knight takes d5, e takes d5. And in that case, there's two attackers on c8. The queen. So this pawn is pinned here in a sense. That would be a clearance sacrifice. So taking in stock of material here, knight takes d5, pawn takes d5, rook takes rook. I would lose. Yeah, that's going to be it. I'm sure that he'll come up with a better second move than I had thought. And now I've got a doorbell right in the middle. So hold on just a second. Alright, apologies for that. So what did? We did knight takes whatever, and the pawn took, and now we have to take on c8. And then the queen takes on c8, and we got it right. Okay, so another 3 points. Going on to problem number 3, I think. I haven't been keeping track, have I? That was problem number 3, I think. Or no, this is problem number 3. So, if I go queen takes c2, then rook takes this check. If I go, goodness. This is going to take some looking, I think. This looks tricky. So, I mean, either one of the pieces of black takes is going to be with check, so that's a little scary. However, we can possibly pull black's king out into the open with bishop takes g6. Maybe striking with a check first, somehow. So because there would be pin here. Bishop takes g6, king takes g6, queen takes, knight takes, rook takes, because the rook could not take on e1 for the check. So that's going to be it. Okay, so problem number 3 solved correctly up to 1558. Nice one. Oh, that was a tough problem. Look at that. That problem was 1624 and I got it. Okay, going on to problem number 4. Alrighty, ready. The first thing that I want to do is queen takes g6. F takes g6, rook check on g7, king h8, rook h8, king g8, rook g7, checkmate. I mean, that's got to be it. Okay, problem number 4 solved correctly. That one was fairly easy. 1560, and moving on. Here's problem number 5. We're in check, so we'll have to respond to that. Best way to respond to that check might be to move the king. Interposing the bishop loses... No, it doesn't lose. The rook is protected. So what are we going to do about it? If we go bishop f1... then the queen is attacked. So if we go bishop f1, the queen can move away. But will the queen be able to move anywhere this direction? All these squares are guarded except this one, so let's look at bishop f1, queen h5. And it can always escape this direction. So what's the material here? It looks like we're even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a rook and 2 minors for each. So we're going to need to win material here. Just holding on to what we've got is not... Okay, no. I see. It's because the knight will be attacked. So bishop f1, the queen is going to have to... It's just bishop f1. Well, is it? Because the queen is going to be attacked here. So queen f1, all right, bishop f1. The queen needs to move off of this diagonal, or sorry, whatever this is, file, and keep the bishop. It doesn't matter. It's bishop f1 because you need to attack the queen, and then you can win the knight. Right. What did that do? Did he just move, and now I'm going to win the knight, I guess. There's no other threats, so yeah. Oh. Do I really have to make another move? Just move the bishop away? Obviously there's only one bishop move here, right? And that's bishop f3. D2 and c1 lose, and there's nowhere else to go. There's takes, but we would lose the piece there. I mean, I'm being pedantic here because I don't want to lose to something silly. So I'm just going to move bishop e3. Okay, good. Reasonably difficult problem, but I didn't think it was all that hard. 1563, we moved up 3 points. Here's on to problem number 6. I'm not... If I make a mistake in what problem number we're on, I'm sorry. I'm not paying that much attention to it. So, whatever. Here, we've got material advantage already. 2 minors and a rook for a queen, but we're down a pawn. So that's, that's pretty... Let's see, 5, 3, 3 is going to be 11, 12, 13, 9, and 12. I mean, so technically we're only a pawn up in material value, but these pieces are going to be a lot more dynamic than a single queen. All right, so the rook's pinned. Knight g5 is check. Knight g5 is check. So what does that do for us? If king h6, bishop f8 looks okay. If... Man, there's just so many squares you can move to after that knight check. Every square is available. So it would be best... I mean, we can potentially look at just hemming the sucker in, basically. Not letting the king off of the h-file. So maybe bishop f8 first. Bishop f8, and then the king has exactly 2 safe squares. And the queen can't do anything other than take the rook, and that's an obvious loss. Yeah, because the bishop's got a3. So my first guess, maybe not. Man, it looks like if we could get the bishop to g, whatever that is, 7. No, because, yeah, never mind. So bishop f8, queen whatever, and then what can we do? See, there's still no way to get the knight in without blocking the rook's protection of that file. These are the kinds of problems I struggle with mightily. They really are. I really struggle with these. So I'm afraid, I'm just afraid here. I'm scared. I am scared. So what do we do? What do we do? I can't move something silly like king h5 because of queen takes g3, unless it would be made anyway. So if I move king h5, it takes off these 2 squares for the king, and I would have to have something forcing, like knight g5, check, and g5 would take away this square. The king already takes away these 2 squares. So the king would only have these 3 squares. I can't take those 3 away with the one move. I could do bishop f6 if he's here or here. Right? And he's going to get to g8. And if my king is here, my knight is here, he's on g8, and my bishop's here, then I'm done because I can't get to him. So I don't think it's king h5. I don't think it's king h5. Man, am I stuck. Huh. Let's look at knight g5 again. Knight g5, he can go to any square but the one he's on. Any square but the one he's on. That's what makes it rough. Let's limit it to h6 and h8, though, because there might be some discovery tricks that we can look at for any of these 3 squares. So let's limit it to 6 and 8, h6 and h8. Knight g5, if he goes h8, then bishop f6, and king g8, and then knight e6 would be double check and probably mate. No, he could come back here to whatever that is. h7. My goodness. Yeah. That's going to be, since I'm on video, that's going to be my breaking point. I'm going to go ahead and move knight g5. If I haven't discovered it by now, then I'm afraid I'm just going to have to guess. So here we go, knight g5, and I fully expect this to be wrong. Look at that. Just look at that. It was right. So my intuition got me there. Now, knight e6 is almost definitely going to be the follow-up here, right? Double check. Knight e6, keeping him out of f8. It'll be out of f6. It'll be off of this row. And he's going to have to come to right one of these 2 squares. So I'm going to say knight f6 is next, or e6 is next. Oh, I lost. I deserve to lose that one. I did not get that one. Knight g5 check. King g7 did knight f3. Really? Now it's too bad. I want to see what happened next. Let's open up a board. And I'll scoot this down here inside the viewing area so you can see. Let's go and look. So we did this, this, and then that. And he takes, but what if he goes, you know, something like this? Well, that just repeats, right? How do I make progress here? I don't understand why it is threatening. I mean, what does this do? Oh, the queen. Golly. Okay, I see it. Man. Okay, so I got too focused on this area of the board and just forgot about the queen. Okay, going on. Next problem. That was number, what, 6? So we'll call this 7. Whether it is or not, I have no idea. By the way, I'm at 1558.7. You probably saw that. I am black on this move, on this problem, and white is all over the black king here. So I'm going to have to move with some forcing moves, I think. I see getting in behind with queen f3. I see getting in behind with rook f2. I see taking with queen h5. And I see rook c5. All these seem like viable options. So let's see which one is best. The one that looks the most appealing right away is queen h5 because it cuts off this direction. So let's go queen h5, and I think king, whatever that is, f4 is probably forced there. So queen h5, king f4, rook f2 should be mate. Here, this will still be cut off by the queen, this diagonal. This file is cut off. This is cut off by the pawn. This is cut off by the pawn. So that's it. I think it's going to be queen h5, king f4, rook f2 mate. Good job for me. That was problem number 7, I hope. That was 1560.9 is my new rating, and here's problem number 8. Maybe. There it comes. Okay, so white has just captured our queen. We have to lash out as soon as possible to retrieve the material, right? Bishop takes f2, check. At least winning a pawn. And then we can well, you know what? I see what's happened here. We can't recapture a queen here, can we? Probably black moved knight f6 to take something on e4, and that was through a pin, so white captures with the pin. So that's probably what's happened here. So we need to, oh, I see. It's going to be bishop f2, king e2, and then knight d4, checkmate. Right? It's got to be. So I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go here, and that's checkmate. Okay, pretty easy. That's the theme. That's like Legal's Mate or something like that, or I don't remember what it's called, but you've seen it before, I'm sure. So placing that in context helps a little bit. All right, so we're at 1562.3. That was problem 8. Here's problem 9, our next to last problem. Maybe. I have no idea, truthfully. Material is even. White's queen protects c6. The rook protects the first rank. So is there a way to distract the queen from the defense of c6, or distract the rook from defense of the back row? Huh. Don't see it right away, but I'm sure it's there. What about queen, whatever this is, d2? Queen d2, threatening the rook and threatening h2. Queen d2, rook e2 loses the rook. So that's the problem. That's the solution. Because it doesn't threaten anything. So here's what I'm worried about. I paused here just to look at things like queen g4 in between. So queen d2, rook, queen g4 check, move into the corner, and he can't continue. Oh, yeah, he can. Rook e8. Yeah. Man, queen d2 might get black checkmated. It's a nice move, but it doesn't work, I don't think. Oh, the pawn. This is a special kind of blindness that only complete idiots like me have, where I cannot see that g4 is protected by a pawn. So queen d2 works. All right. Right. Win the queen for, or the rook for a, yeah, that's right. Okay. Wow. So that was the next to last problem. I'm probably glad. It's just that, I don't know. I don't know what that was. Going on, 1564.9. Here's the final problem of the video. But I'm glad somebody else can see me do that. So at least at least you people know that that stuff really happens. Just blindness, man. All right, so it's white's turn here, and black has two pieces for a rook in this position. So we probably need to win some material to achieve the tactical goal. Is anything hanging? Not really. Are there any pins? Yes. D5, sorry, D6 is pinned. Is there any way to take advantage of D6 being pinned? E5. But, you know, what am I going to win out of that ultimately? Just a pawn? It's because I play E5 and the queen moves away, and then what, you know? So does queen B3 just win the bishop? Because that looks pretty obvious for a fork. Queen B3 check. No way to defend both, right? Right. I'm going to go with it. Huh. Is there some fork after he does that? That's weird. Okay, so I solved that one. I forget how many I missed on that. Just the one that I knew I was going to miss the whole time and still struggled to find it. 1567.8. So what? Around 20-point gain on those 10 problems. It was much better showing. I'm a little embarrassed about a couple things I did regarding missing the pawn guarding G whatever. So I've done better, but I'll take it after this morning and after that standard game that I played earlier. So I hope you enjoyed it.